Welcome back to my channel. This is the old head abroad, KJ Mack. Now I'm just sitting in front of a complex of office buildings, right? Okay, and I happen to live in this complex. All right, so this is like a mixed-use development here in Bogotá, where I live. We have office buildings here. Um, there's also a little shopping mall here. And up at the top of the hill where I live, that's where you have the residential towers. So, making this video just so I can give you guys some quick advice, because a lot of you guys, you always want to know, like, if I come to Colombia, what's the best way for me to meet a really nice Colombian woman, somebody who might be, might have an education, professional career, or just somebody that works every day and takes care of their business, a nice woman, somebody that's not gonna, looking for money or anything like that, somebody that you can eventually settle down with, get married. All right. It's not that difficult to meet that type of woman here in Colombia. All right. You got a lot of good women here. You have a lot of educated women here. You got a lot of professionals. And even women that might not have the degrees, you got a lot of good, just hard-working women, that make a good wife, all right? So now, how do you meet these women? Well, for one thing, I'm gonna tell you, all right, you don't need, you really don't need to get a dating coach, all right? I mean, I know dating coaches might not like to hear that, but that's the last thing you need to be doing when you come to Colombia, trying to pay money to get a dating coach. All right, that you don't need. All right, and of course, you really got to be careful messing around with the dating apps. All right, you shouldn't even be on the dating apps trying to look for a woman on there. All right, because that's just flat out dangerous now. All right, I'm not even gonna get into the stories of what's been happening. You guys should already know how dangerous it is to use a dating app here in Colombia. All right, so one of the best ways to meet a good woman here in Colombia is to just simply learn Spanish. All right, that's the one thing that you got to do to meet a good woman here. Learn Spanish. All right. Now, once you learn Spanish, it becomes a lot easier for you, because then you can come here and meet women in a more organic way. Like where I'm at right now, I'm sitting in front of this big office tower. Now right now is not the prime time to be meeting women in front of here, because it's after lunch. But now if you come down here at between 11 and 1 o'clock or so, this whole little plaza in front of the office building, there's all kinds of beautiful women out here, and like I said, these are the good ones that you see out here in front of the office building. These are working women, they got their stuff together. And so you learn Spanish, and it's a lot easier for you to come out here and approach a woman out here, especially if, you make eye contact or whatever, smile, nice, you can meet women like that, so that's one of the easiest ways we can meet a good Colombian woman. Learn Spanish and go to places like this, don't go to the so-called gringo hotspots, where all the American guys are hanging out, because those spots attract a lot of the wrong women, So you come to places like this, out here in front of this office plaza or something like that, you go to a mall or something, you do a lot of daytime activities. That's where you meet some really nice Colombian women, and, like I said, you learn your Spanish. Now, another way where you can meet a good Colombian woman when you come here, is establish some good relationships with Colombian people, especially Colombian men. If you're gonna be living here in Colombia too, you're gonna need some guys that that are your friends and stuff, that are good guys, right? So that's another way you can meet good Colombian women. You come here, maybe if you get on like the Meetup app or something like that, go to some events or something, and you network and you meet some guys. then once those guys get to know you, they see you're a good guy. They see you here in Colombia, you got good intentions and everything, all right? You're looking for something real, something serious, all right? You're not a so-called S-tourist, all right? You know what that is, right? You're not an S-tourist, you're a guy that's here with good intentions and everything. So once Colombian people see that, when they get to know you and everything, you never know. They might come to you and open up the family album, or they might open up their contact list and say, look, I know this lady here, because one way that a lot of Colombian women like to meet a guy, especially a traditional Colombian women, the one way they like to meet guys is they like to meet guys through people that they know and that they trust, And so it's good for you to be one of them guys that, got some friends that know you and trust you and everything, because they might introduce you to somebody nice, all right? So those are ways where you can meet a good Colombian woman, all right? It can happen, don't let nobody discourage you and tell you it can't happen. Don't let nobody tell you that they just gonna be looking for a green card or something, or looking for money, because that's not true. A lot of the women here are not like that. You got some really nice women here. Now, it does help when you meet a really good woman here. It helps if you're a guy who has plans to live here. If you're trying to put your roots down in Colombia, that can open up more to the good women, because now, unfortunately, now that Colombia's gotten really popular, a lot of the, it's gotten really popular amongst American guys and the foreign guys. A lot of guys are coming here. Unfortunately, we've had a lot of the bad element of guys coming here. And, and they've turned off a lot of the women to foreign men. And so a lot of the good Colombian women, they may not be interested in a guy if he's just passing through, you know what I'm saying? If he's a tourist or something, because they don't know what your intentions are. They don't know if you're gonna come back or whatever it is. And so, yeah, it does help if you're a guy who's putting his roots down here and living here. That does help you with the women a lot more, you know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind as well, all right? But yeah, Colombian women, they still date foreign men, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, a lot of them are a lot more cautious with the guys that they might want to spend their time with, So, like I said, so realistically, yeah, you still can meet really good women here and everything. Just like I said, get your Spanish together though, you know what I'm saying? That's number one, you know what I'm saying? And stay off the dating apps. Don't put yourself in danger or nothing like that. Just come here and go out and and if you see somebody, you just go and talk to them. That's all you gotta do. You don't need to waste your money on no dating coaches or nothing like that. All right. So this is the Old Head Abroad with KJ Mack. All right. And I'll see you guys the next time. Please like, share, and subscribe. All right. Talk to y'all later.